April 16th. One of the top pound-for-pound fighters on the planet, undefeated world champion Errol Spence Jr. takes on title holder Yordenis Ugas, hot off a career-defining win. One epic stage, two dominant champions, 3 world titles on the line. Time to put up or shut up. Spence versus Ugas for the Unified Welterweight World Championship, Saturday, April 16th, live on pay-per-view.
Playoff time is here in hoops, one of the best times of the year. DraftKings Sportsbook has a can't-miss offer to celebrate. Jack, what's your favorite playoff memory?
Definitely being able to start in the playoffs and win the championship with the Spurs in 03. I think I hold that deal, and I think that's what we all play for, to be a champion.
This week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You win no matter what.
Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win.
Stack and I are also going to be cooking up some bets, and we'll have our own all-the-smoke same-game parlays on DraftKings Sportsbook this week. Go over to the app and check out who we're riding with. Let's get this money together.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code SMOKE. Bet just $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the playoffs and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code SMOKE at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Welcome back to another edition, All the Smoke. Jack, what's good?
Cool, my brother. I'm hurting because, I'm back on that court a little bit, kind of wounded, but, ready to get back to work, man, and get this thing going. Got a dope show today.
What's your game looking like these days?
Oh, still him, H-I-M, capital.
Still him?
Yeah, still him.
But how does him feel after him's done?
Him don't feel like, I don't feel nothing but broken bones and bruises. Hey, I can't lie to you, Matt. When I get back, the first thing I have to do is sit in the tub, and I got to lay down because I'll be so hurting that I can't even eat. No way.
Hey, well, thankfully, man, our next guest is one of the young guns, young bright stars in the NBA over there in Memphis. Part of the Grizzly family, man. Welcome to the show, Jaren Jackson Jr. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just happy to be here. This is the legendary show. It's always on my TV. The homies and I'm happy for y'all on how far y'all came with this, because
man,
this is it now. Like this is it now.
Now y'all get to watch. Now y'all get to watch your episode though. That's just gonna be dope.
HD, I can't wait.
Go ahead, Jack.
Born in Plainfield, New Jersey. You moved around a few times. Talk about your upbringing.
Yeah, born in Plainfield. Was there for a hot second. I lived in Virginia, Maryland. Really came up in Indiana, though, like basketball-wise. That's really what made me, I bet y'all know, good coaching out there, like good high schools, like, people moving the ball. That's just kind of where I really found myself basketball-wise. Before I was really playing, I'll play with some dudes who go to Villanova now, Brandon Slater, Justin Moore. We were really good coming up. But, really finding that groove and thinking that I could do it. And for the rest of my life, I found that in Indiana. So that was really where I found it. And I transferred. I was going to a school in Indiana called Park Tudor, and I transferred to another school, a prep school called Lawnmower, and I played with Jordan Poole, Brian Bowen, Tiger Campbell, who's, playing now in college. So I was doing.
He's with them Bruins.
Yeah.
How was Jordan Poole in prep school? Because he's a killer now. He's starting to find his groove.
Yeah, that's my roommate.
Okay.
That's my dog. Like, at first I remember we used to just like go at each other. Like we would talk so much trash to each other in practice. And it's boarding school, so we went right back to the dorm, and we would just sit there sometimes early on, and we wouldn't say nothing to each other. We just be thinking about how we're gonna kill each other next time, whatever. We talked the whole time, and like we love bringing that out of each other, because at the end of the day, like he worked so hard. I just know how he was always gonna be this special. I always knew that, and he instilled that in me a little bit. Like, we would always go to the gym. He'd always wake me up early to go to the gym. That's one thing about him, though. I ain't never liked what time he went. Like, that was like, you know, like, what are we doing?
Up early, huh?
Yeah, like, I love it, but like, I could totally just do this later. Like, I was planning on doing this later. We could totally done this later, but I mean, he was trying to get up early. That's my dog, though. Like, man.
That's what's up.
Talk about Indiana. I played there around the Peyton Manning time, and just to go touch on what you said, Indiana had Peyton Manning at the top of his career, and they still was behind the Pacers and the Indiana Hoosiers. Like, basketball is everything in Indiana, man. So I know what you're talking about. But growing up, was there any other sports you was interested in, and how did you find the game of basketball?
Yeah, I mean, my mama hated football for me. She didn't want all that. She didn't, you know, mama's scared. So I was swimming, actually, early on. I was swimming, I was good. But then we started to train outside the water, which was like, I didn't love it. I clearly ain't love it to do all that. So I was like, you know, maybe, like, I was always hooping. Like, I always hoop. Like, even if I'm hooping for fun or for real, like, I'm always hooping. So I'm like, you know, organically, I just fell in love with it. And you know, obviously, like, my dad plays, so you would think, like, you know, he gonna push me into it, whatever. And he's definitely happy it all worked out that we love the same game, but he never pushed me into it. Like, if I didn't want to do it, he would have been cool for whatever. Like, he just wanted me to have that love on my own. So, I mean, the love, I didn't even find in Indiana. I had it. I just had it the whole time and didn't know it. Like, I just didn't know it. And then in Indiana, I just kind of learned, like, the discipline of it all, like the discipline, the work, the real, when it's not fun, per se, you know, like the other things. So I just, being in Indiana and, like, you know, you got the Hoosiers down there. So the Hoosiers, all the fans go to the Pacer games. So that's where it gets loud. Like, they're still loud. I was going to Pacer games, watching Danny Granger. I was watching PG. Back when PG was like a real 4 or 5. And Dan Granger was hooping. And George Hill and Lance. Like, I would go all those games. And, I mean, it was always rocking. You get the Purdue fans. I was recruited by IU, Purdue, Butler, Xavier, Michigan State. And so, yeah, like, Midwest. I was a real Midwest dude at that point. So, I mean, Indiana bred me.
Yeah, you coming from two parents that's tied into the game. Your pops played, won a championship, of course, with San Antonio Spurs, and is still coaching this day in the G League. You was born the year your dad won the ring. Do you remember anything from that time, and what kind of game did your dad instill in you, you know, from firsthand from being an NBA player and being an NBA champion?
Yeah, well, nah, don't remember nothing. I was crawling around in the little family room, in the whatever room, and I was born the same year he won the ring. So then the next couple years after that, like, the Spurs was the team that really, I mean, had his back for real. Like, you know, had him for like 4 years. And then you won a ring with that team, and then you was there like right after. Your point guard was Tony Parker, and then his was Avery. So it's like right around that time. And I mean, I was born. I know you was born in H-Town, so I mean, that ain't far.
H-Town, you sure right.
Yeah, but I was in San Antonio. I remember, shoot, you could cook eggs outside. It's hot. Spanish, little things like that. Like, but I mean, that was a nice little, for my family. Like, you know, you always remember that from my family. And I mean, that's always a special place. My mom loved living there too. So San Antonio.
I mean, both your parents are in the game. Your mom, Terry, is the director of the WNBPA and has done a lot of amazing things across the league, like negotiating higher salaries, protesting fines, really having the backs of the women in the WNBA. So does that, you know, how in tuned are you to what she's doing and the growing support of the WNBA?
It's crazy. I used to watch my mom. Like, we used to have a pretty big house. Not gonna lie, like, Chief really did it. Thank God for Chief. And like, that's my dog. So, but my mom used to hide in the workout room and film these videos of what she wanted to accomplish. She would say, like, you know, it was always pro women. Like, we always, when we didn't make fun of her around the house, we be like, man, you love women. But like, she literally would do, you know, whatever for women. Like, she's always in that mode. So I've seen her work at AAU, UDC, and where she's at now is kind of exactly what she used to say on those videos, like exactly what she wanted to do. So she's really doing it. I'm proud of how far she's come. She ain't hoop by no means. She ain't hoop, and she got a free throw shot. That's it. So just to, like, see how in tune she is with women in sports, just because of the human aspect of it. Like, she gets that real well.
Right.
That's like a real big part of our family too. And she's the reason why we moved to Indiana. Funny enough, we didn't even move for hoops. We moved because she was working for the NCAA. So that's really why it happened. And we were like, cool, like, we know you're grinding. And we didn't even question it. We were like, all right, we can get out of here. Even though who knows if we wanted to leave or not. It ended up working out for everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Obviously, both your parents connected to basketball so much. What kind of fans are they within their crowd? Are they quiet? Are they yelling? Do they embarrass you? What kind of fans are your parents?
Yeah, well, as I get older, I'm realizing, like, back then, I'm like, dang, y'all wildin'. But you love that now. Like, I love that now. They're screaming. Like, my mom's screaming.
That's what's
my
up.
mom got a high voice, so it's very, like, piercing. And she likes to clap, like, with her hand, like, perfectly on her other hand. So it's loud. Like, everything's real loud. And my dad's just, having fun. His voice is loud too. So he might not even know he's loud. But I mean, they just get real active. And they still do that now. Like, it's funny. Like, I know where they sit at my games now. And I can hear it. Like, I can hear little things. My mom says butter when I make a free throw still to this day. Screams it. She'll yell out, like, come on, 13, like, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, but I hear you.
You know your mom's voice, though. You could hear it through the whole stadium.
Mm-hmm. I think I used to say calm down maybe once when I was growing up. And I think after a point, I was just like, there clearly there's just no stopping this. So, you know what? You got it. Like, go ham. Like, I love it.
Embrace it. There you go.
The lights, the energy.
Playoffs! Yes, let's get it! Here, every game counts.
Every bucket counts.
Yeah.
Every second counts.
Yes!
Oh, I love this game.
It's NBA playoff time.
Can you dig it?
Trophies.
It's the NBA playoffs, where the greats arrive every year.
But it's not just about getting here. You've got to make it here.
Making it means you got to get the W when everyone leaves it out on the floor.
Making it means winning it all to become a part of basketball history.
Making it here is the difference between making or breaking a legacy.
So make sure you see every second of NBA playoff action.
Visit NBA.com/75 to learn more.
And visit NBA.com/playoffs for schedules.
Jack, what's some of your most memorable playoff experiences in your career?
For me, definitely winning the championship in 2003 with the Spurs. Just the grind of making it to the playoffs, having a great season, then losing game one at home against the Suns from a half-court shot by Stephon Marbury. I think that experience of going through that and bouncing back to winning the championship. And also, when we was the 8th seed and we beat the number 1 seed in the playoffs, we beat Dallas. So I think those memories of just what we had to go through, the ups and downs, and the experience of the brotherhood and believing in each other and being a team, I think just from going from the bottom to the top those years meant a lot to me. That's what I hold dear.
Most of my playoff memories are heartbreak. Obviously, that We Believe team was a blast and we made NBA history, but it ended in heartbreak against Utah. And then I would say some of my Clipper runs where we were, suited to make it to the finals and blew 3-1 leads and 2-1 leads to teams. So to me, man, playoffs basketball is the best time of the year. It's when it starts getting sunny and hot around the country. And you see, the best basketball players in the world do what they do.
You and I both shared a McDonald's All-American experience. For me, it was a blessing. Talk about how you felt about being chosen and being one of the best players in the country in high school, and also being able to rub shoulders with some of the elite.
Yeah, I mean, I was never, even going into that summer, it's like your last summer before everything. So it's like, It's your last summer to prove everything, your AAU, your circuit, you're trying to go ham. I was probably ranked like 80th. And I didn't, like, trust me, I don't know if I ever set a bar for myself this whole time. I think I was just in it. I just was in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, 80th, we started playing. I was playing on Speeds and Nike Circuit. I hopped to 30th. At the end, I was 8. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm probably going to make it. So I made it with my teammate, Brian Bowen. So we both made it together, which was dope. Like, it was crazy. And, I mean, getting picked for that, Jordan, Hoop Summit, that was like a dream. Like, I didn't really feel it at the time because, like, you never really thought maybe, but when I realized all the names I'm associated with, even just nominees, when the nominees came out, it's just crazy to think like you made it out of that. But it's a long day at McDonald's. People who know the McDonald's know what I'm talking about. That is a long day. It is not, it ain't like you there and you don't want to complain because you there. You don't want to complain because then you just gonna feel bad. Like you look in the mirror like, why am I complaining about this? But man, you go in there, you sign 10,000 basketballs.
Hey, for me, man, hey, I know I know how you felt because for me, they could have took everything out except going to the hospital. I think I enjoyed going to the hospital and talking to the kids at the McDonald's Children's Hospital. I think that's the only part I enjoyed besides playing. All the other stuff in the middle, they could have canceled that.
Yeah, because it was a human thing. Other stuff was press and smiling and photo op and go here, do this. And honestly, even practice was weak. I don't even know what we were doing. I think we did a layup drill. It was funny. We were like you watch the other team practice, you're on a different court. We're the West or something. I don't even remember what we were. I was with Trey Young and Michael Porter. We're looking over at the other team. They scrimmaging the whole time. We're looking at our coach like, man, can we scrimmage? This man is having us doing full court layup drills. And then at the very end, Trey missed the layup, just missed it. And we had like 19 trying to get to 20, made us do it again. We're like, man, we ain't even scrimmaging. Like, what are we doing? Like, where everyone's prima donna now. Everyone's prima donna coming out because everybody nice. So it was funny. I think we kind of laughed at that later because, I mean, we seen each other play since like we were 12. And now it's all of us here again. And then at the draft, we could look back at it too. We were laughing about that then. But I was crazy, man. McDonald's was lit.
Who were some of the other guys? Not to cut you off, Jack. You mentioned Trey Young and Michael Porter Jr. So who were some of the other guys in that game?
Yeah, Mo Bamba, DeAndre Ayton was in that game. Wendell Carter was in that game. A lot of bigs in that game. Trey was like the guard. Trayvon Duval was in that game. Pretty sure Billy Preston, Jared Vanderbilt. Yeah, it was. I don't know if Billy was in that. Billy was always good though. But I mean, it was. I mean, for sure. And I mean, Marvin Bagley would have been in it, but transferred whatever he did to get to whatever he did. He just wasn't in the game. Like some people just don't be in the game, but it would have just been all big dudes for real. And it was funny. We ended up winning too, which was hype. Like I'm so glad we won.
Yeah, I got a quick Kobe story about McDonald's game. You talk about how two teams, y'all didn't scrimmage. Well, I got footage that I put on my Instagram of us going through shoot around, just a walkthrough. And Rip Hamilton guard Kobe, and it was just a walkthrough. Kobe get the ball and drive mid down the lane and dunk it hard, like we playing full speed. So instantly after that, coach we just walked. Kobe was like, no, let's get after. So we ended up playing 4 quarters. Bro, full practice because Kobe wanted to go hard, bro. So I know what you're talking about because the other team was just chilling.
Yeah, for real. I'm glad I'm glad y'all like had Kobe on here. Like, you know what I mean? I'm glad y'all got to do that too. That's a side note. I had nothing to do with nothing, but
yeah, that was a blessing.
You got to be on here. That's so dope, for real.
Had to.
College recruitment process. Was your parents pushing you to go to Georgetown? What other teams reached out?
No, they weren't pushing me. Maybe my dad hoped, but at that point, so many schools had reached out and he realized that I was going to have a lot of options that, I mean, you just got to make the right decision. Pretty much everybody in the Big Ten reached out. Kansas reached out, North Carolina. And then my final 5 was Notre Dame, Michigan, Michigan State, Georgetown, and Maryland. That was my final 5. Yeah, and I know how it was, like getting all those calls, everyone's buttering you up. I mean, to keep it real, like schools was lying. There were schools that were lying for sure. They just were lying. Like I'm glad I'm here now able to say that like that, because I've never really been able to say that, because I usually just say something else like thank you. But people were lying. They were saying, you know, you're gonna get the ball every time, you're gonna do this, you're gonna have the keys to this, here's this, you're gonna have everything you want. And I'm like I hate it when schools lie, because I'm like, man, y'all would probably get me if y'all just said less. Like, I'm probably more into y'all than y'all know, and y'all damn near
the bullshit.
Yeah, y'all ruining it for me. Y'all just, but then Michigan State, they damn near pissed me off. They would call me after games and tell me I played horrible. Like, what am I doing? Like, get on me. And then like, I remember at first I was like, man, the hell? And then like I sat down, I thought about it. I'm like, man, it's probably something to this. Like, it's probably something to this. Like, why are they doing this? They know that everybody wants me to go there. Like, why are they doing this? And they would end up telling me, like, man, we just want you to be good, period. Like, we don't care where you go. We don't care at all. Like, none of that. They would never promise me anything. Izzo's like, man, you're going to have to work for real. I'm like, all right, cool. So let's do it. Like, I was like, I took it as a challenge, which it was, for sure. It was an adjustment early, but it was like, it's what I wanted and what I needed for sure. Like, it worked so well. Like, it was like a perfect fit for me.
So you chose Izzo because he kept it funky with you?
Yeah, he kept it real. And he a real, like, that's OG right there. Like, he really, like, he cares, like, so deeply about, like, the game and how players develop and how they go on to live their lives and just how much you compete. Like, you know, I remember I got to the program, we had practice, and he was like, all right, we're gonna run here and go get the ball, like run full court and catch a corner three. I ran full court. He said, yo, what is that? I said, what do you mean? Like, he's like, is that your run? I'm like, bruh, I ran. And he's like, yo, Kyle, he said, Kyle Arns, show him how to run. This man, Kyle, ran like it was the last time he ever gonna run. I'm thinking, like, I gotta run to get the three. So I'm thinking I'm finna run and get in rhythm. That's not what he wanted. He wanted me to run full speed, stop on a dime and take this three. But like the point of it, like he get with that it was hard. But the point of it is, like, he knew it was hard. Like, he knew early on it was gonna be difficult. But at the end of the day, like, it pays off later. Like, may not even be paying off for that exact drill, but like the mentality. You build the mentality enough for everything else you're doing. And like, I don't know. People be missing that.
Yeah. He teaches me what it's like at the next level. What up?
Matt, I got a quick story. I don't think you know Tom Izzo, why he a GOAT. I was doing First Things First, and right after the show, he called Chris Carter on FaceTime. And all he was saying was how much he loved our show. Coach Tom Izzo.
Really?
So shout out Coach Tom Izzo. This was maybe last year. I think around last year when I was doing First Things First, and he FaceTimed Chris Carter just to tell me that he fuck with our show. So that's dope.
That's dope. No, I mean, we had Draymond on the podcast, and remember, outside of arguing with Izzo, he said, I mean, he had nothing, but I have never heard anything bad about Coach Izzo. So it's
never
nice
will either. I'm telling you, it's so real.
What some of the, obviously he's teaching you, like you said, it wasn't about the shot. It was just about instilling principles that you hustle while you're on the basketball court. And it's always going to add to the bigger picture. But what is the best advice you recall him giving to you?
Best advice.
Shoot the J.
Just stuff he taught you? Yeah, right. Shoot that thing.
Shoot the J.
Probably.
Shoot it.
I mean, first probably was to leave school. He really made me.
Hey, there you go.
That's what's really funny, because there was rumors. I remember, I love rumors. Like, they're so off, because there was rumors I remember of, they say that Iz was trying to keep me in school. I'm like, how does that even work? How would y'all know that? And
he's pushing me out the door.
He's literally, I remember I walked in his office after we were done, like everything's over. And I actually signed up for like the summer trips and like the weird stuff in college, like the weird stuff. I signed up for it for the next year, and people were asking me if I'm staying. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm staying. Next year about to be crazy. I go in there, I'm like, all right, so he's just like, so what are we talking about here? Like, I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, what are you gonna stay for? I'm like, I don't know, because I like school. He's like, that's That's a horrible reason. And then he was like, he ended up he told Draymond I was thinking of it. He drove me to class and he was like he put his hand on my shoulder as if like, it's the last time you finna see me. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I'm not thinking that. And then he told Draymond, and Draymond called me and cussed me out. That's how Michigan State be. Like, everybody on each other. Like, we don't care. Generation, there's no gap. Like, everybody knows everybody very well. So Draymond calls me. I don't even know Draymond like that. Like, we're not that cool yet. Like, we're cool, but we're not that cool yet. So he's calling me, not even introducing himself. He's just calling me and saying, what the fuck is you doing? I'm like, who is this? He's like, you know what this is? And I'm like, oh, it's Draymond. All right, what's up, bro? Like, I know how you be. He's like, why are you gonna stay? There's no reason. How high you want to go? How high you want to go? One? You want to go one, huh? How high? Like, what's the point of all this? Da 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 da. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, dang, it ain't like I haven't even thought about it all yet. Like, man, I could have like, who knows? And then I sat down and really looked at it. And then my dad finally decided to talk to me about it because he was waiting, giving me space. And he was like, yeah, it's probably shaping out that way.
You know what's funny about that is I was about to ask you about Miles Bridges next, but I particularly remember since you brought Draymond up, Draymond was having conversations with Miles and his parents while we were on getting ready. I think we were in the Western Conference Finals. We might have been in the finals, all sitting right next to him. And he was really going back and forth with Miles and his parents about staying, not staying. I think Miles wanted to come out. I'm not sure if his parents didn't want him or some shit like that. But it was funny you said that because he was on the phone with Miles too. And obviously you guys played together. Thoughts on his, arguably could be most improved player this year in the NBA. What kind of relationship do you guys have? And are you surprised at the leap he's made?
Hell no, I'm not surprised. Kind of like the same thing with Jay Poole. He just works so hard. There's like levels. Like, you work too hard, I know eventually something's gonna sink for you. Eventually, you're going to work double as hard as someone else like you're going against, and it just adds up enough. So, I mean, I just seen how he works. I know his mentality. He don't give a damn about anybody in front of him. He going at you, and he going to laugh about it. Like, it's just, this is joy. Like, it's pure joy. It's coming from a real place. So I know, like, if you have that, I have more confidence in, like, anything you're going to do in the future. So, I mean, plus he's my roommate, too. That's my dog. Like, we working out together. We worked out in the summer right before the draft. While we were still in Michigan before we left, and I went to LA. So I knew what he was on. And I mean, just to see the leaps. Yeah, we worked out with Chris Johnson this summer. So and
shout out to Chris, just the homie.
Yeah, Chris is elite.
He works out my twins.
I was never shocked at how when he was gonna grow. I think I was shocked on how he adapted so well to probably shooting. Just because that was probably the only thing that, like, people said, like, you know, I don't know, he's super athletic and drive, all that. But now, I mean, you really got to put a hand up. Like, he can shoot. So, I mean, I'm just happy for him. You know, whatever they do. I mean, Charlotte's on a 5-game winning streak right now as we speak right now. And I know him and Melo have, like, a crazy connection right now. They're really doing it. So they got it.
You declare for the draft in 2018. You get drafted number 4 by the Grizzlies. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, draft process. Only did 3 workouts. Ironically, none of them for the Grizzlies. It was Atlanta, Dallas, and Phoenix because I was going for the number 1 pick. And I actually funny thing, I actually asked Phoenix to do like a group workout for the number 1 pick, which honestly was pretty weird. No one does that. Like, everyone said no. No one wanted to do it. But it was okay. Like, I still worked out for them. And yeah, like, at the time, we had a whole different front office, a whole different team in the Grizzlies. You know, agency process angle you in different ways. And I didn't really know much about any of the places. I was just happy to go anywhere. When I knew I was going 1 through 5 or 1 through 10, I was like, you know, I'm going to just make sure I'm ready for whatever comes. And I pretty much knew draft morning where I was going. You never know, but, like, you knew. Like, my agent told me, Austin Brown the GOAT. And we're at the draft table, and everyone thought I was going to Atlanta. So everyone's looking at me for Atlanta, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm trying to tell people, like, nah. And then they think I'm mad. Like, as soon as it happens, I'm like, nah, I knew. And they try to put the camera on me for my, like, explosive reaction or whatever. I'm like, nah, bro, it's cool. And then I went to Memphis. And immediately, I mean, I just felt different. Like, as soon as my name was called, I just felt different. Partly because you go right to the media circuit and it's like you're getting asked questions like you was on the team for your whole life. What do you want to bring to the city? How does the city treating you? I'm like, bro, I ain't get there. But like, I was immersed. You're immersed in the community. Like, as soon as you get there, everybody's so excited to see you. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's like they don't, I mean, Matt know too, like, they just more, how to say, on your ass, but like, they on everybody ass. Like, if you come for the team, they on you. But they on your ass too. So it's like, it's both. And it's like real. Like, you know it's real. You know it ain't nothing. Like, it's not a bunch of people just going to the game not knowing what's going on.
No, they love, I mean, because it's really all they got out there. You know what I mean? So I was obviously a competitor with the Clippers, and we battled them in the playoffs for a few years. But then once I went there, it was like they love you, they embrace you, and I wasn't even the number 4 pick. You know what I mean? You're a lottery pick, so I can only imagine the love that they showed you when you arrived, because it's really a real basketball town. Like, they really care about their Grizzlies.
It was a lot of love. I went to a baseball game first off, threw a pitch, like no sleep, like coming straight from the draft, like. Had like a bunch of my people at the draft night before, really not sleeping at all. Like, it was crazy. And flew right there, met everybody. We were a vet team though, heavy vet team. We're not like we are now. Heavy
who was
vet.
still there? Who was there when you were drafted?
I started with Marshawn Brooks, Sheldon Mack, Dylan Brooks was probably the youngest, and Mike Conley, Mark, JaMychal Green, Omri Caspi, Garrett Temple was on our team, Kyle Anderson. Yeah. The age was the whatever age was high. So I'm like, it's funny. Oh, Wayne Selden, my brother. It was crazy. Like, I was rook for real. Like, it was funny in the locker room. Like, it's funny to see how our locker room has changed, but I mean, I really had OGs. Like, I really had OGs who had a lot of different experiences, knew a lot of people in the league. And I remember I would say stuff and they'd be like, you have no idea. Oh, I had Chandler, and you had Chandler on here. I had Chandler. That was really my guy.
I was going to ask, because I think I left the year before. I was there the year before. And then Chandler came the year I left. So that's what I was going to ask. I think Chandler was on that team too.
I was a good rook too. They know it too. I was good. Like, what I learned about the rook duties is like, the only way you get hard rook duties is if you don't do the easy ones. So I was always like, towels, the showers, like the food for the plane, like everything I was on point with. Like, I never missed ever. And they treat you right. That's what they done. Like, they gonna give you something.
Oh, they tip you. Yeah, they give you your per diem. Give you our per diem. We would have had you on blunt runs, alcohol runs. What else, Jack?
Rubbers, all that.
But you didn't use those. That's why I said we wouldn't say that.
They know, but like I literally had 2 a.m. you ready, 1 a.m. you're ready. You just gotta be ready. Like, if you just are consistent with it, they leave you alone. But I remember Chandler. Chandler, funny thing about Chandler had me. He was like, "All right, hey Rook, can you get my bag like off the plane? Like, get the bag, his bag, and bring it home, and then bring it to the gym the next day." And I'm like, this is so odd. This is like the oddest one.
Just so he can get right to his car. He didn't have to wait for the bags.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, fine. Yeah. I just didn't care. So I did it.
Right.
I bring his bag home. I bring his bag in my crib. And I'm like, dang, this bag is huge, but it's so light. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't even feel like being that dude, but what's in this bag, bruh? So I'm just like, bruh, all right, I'm opening your bag. I open the bag because this joint don't make sense. And there's just one pair of jeans in there. It's just a huge bag and just a pair of jeans in there. I'm like,
boy, don't change, huh?
I'm like, dude, what? I'm just so confused, and then I just bring it to him. I just bring it the next day. And I never say anything about it. I didn't never tell him. But I'm just like, bruh. And he's like, good, Rook. I'm like, yeah. You know damn well there's just some jeans in here. This is the most random thing. Like, what is the point of this?
Like you got this big-ass bag for.
Bruh.
What was your welcome to NBA moment? We all got one. Just that moment when you like, damn, I'm really here. I'm in the league.
I'm here. I'm in the building.
I feel like mine was the first preseason game because we played the Rockets and we were playing Chris Paul and James Harden.
Oh,
And
yeah.
at the time I played a lot of 2K. So 2K was getting really good. 2K's getting really good. Like I know the rituals, the intros, and we're going through like warm-ups. I'm coming off the bench and I see like the Chris Paul where he jumps on, hits the pad, James Harden hits the pad, does like this. I'm like, wow, this is like exactly like this is exactly like 2K. It's my first game playing somewhere. Chris Paul gets attacked in like the first 3 minutes of the game for no reason.
Talking shit to the rest. Yeah,
it's the first preseason game of the year. I'm like, all right. So then I get out there and they literally run the same play 10 times in a row and just get me on a switch and ISO me and take 100 dribbles back and forth and just do a step back. And then, or they just try to drive by me. And like, I wasn't getting baked, but they hit some. And then like, I remember one time James Harden just was staring in my eyes, like staring at me and like laughing as he's doing this dribble. Cause he knows this is the first time I'm out here and I'm like,
about to barbecue your ass.
I'm like, man, and he stepped back and I remember I tried to contest. I kind of stepped under him and he fell. And they're like, hey, like they were freaking out like on the Rockets bench, like he stepped under him. And then Chris Paul's like, hey man, like don't even, like, he told the bench to calm down because I don't even know. He knows I don't know what's going on right now. Like he knows I have no idea. I didn't even know what they were mad about. I was like, what's up? Like, the dude just hit me with 8 moves, combos, and step back. Like, I don't know what y'all want. Y'all want me to not contest? Like, y'all, I don't even. But that was probably a moment. Playing against Bron that season was crazy. I just remember it was the first time for everything. So like, it's
Has anyone did anyone dunk on you that season? You get dunked on by anybody?
Rookie, I be forgetting.
He's a shot blocker.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because that's why I know. He be going up and contesting. That's why I'm saying it's only, it's a matter of time. You're going to block enough, but you're going to get dunked on too.
Yeah, probably. It's probably someone I can't. I don't remember them. It's hard for me to remember them, and I ain't even bullshitting because I really would say it because because I do block a lot, so it is gonna happen. But when it happens, it just like I'll be forgetting. It can't be. Oh, I mean, I don't even want to.
Yeah, come on, you might as well share shit. You might as well share it now.
Yeah, I mean, Belicia ducked on me.
Yeah, see, it's the ones you wouldn't expect. It's not the high flyers, yeah.
In Sacramento, I banged on him. The first half, I went left, banged on him, talking crazy. My bench, I'm talking crazy. And then in the fourth quarter, he comes down the lane and gives me, and the whole crowd remembers, and they're going crazy. And then I got subbed out right then. I'm like, Coach,
that's the worst.
No. It was an and one, too. I'm like,
oh, and you got subbed out?
I got subbed out for like 9 minutes. I got subbed out so long that they put me in to like be on the ball at the end of the game. Like I got subbed out for a minute that game randomly. Like I was like, man, like, damn. But
to wear that shit.
I remember. I think that's why I remember that one. That one was weird.
For 75 seasons and counting.
Showing out in the playoffs. They're back! Yes, let's get it!
This is where you go big or go home.
Here we go from 82 games to 16 wins.
Yeah.
Here you go from the highlight to the spotlight.
From underrated to undeniable.
We're talking playoffs. Are you ready?
You know I was born ready. Come on.
Can you dig it?
Trophies.
Have you started spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs mowing.
Spring has sprung, and the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the best tools for cleaning aisle 5 in your pants.
Manscape has the full package you need for spring cleaning this year. The Performance Package 4.0 is the only tool you need to keep your boys looking and smelling like fresh tulips that your partner wants.
To start off your spring cleaning, use the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer to get the most precise shave on your hedges. Did we mention it's waterproof as well? No need to worry about watering your grass with this tool. Equip with the LED light so you know it'll be a major asset in the new shower routine.
Clear your holes and smell the spring air with the Weed Whacker. This nose, ear, and hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which help prevent nicks, snags, and tugs on those delicate holes.
After cleaning your nose, make sure you get rid of the fireball smell with the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver. The Crop Preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. The Crop Reviver, spray and toner for your balls.
Finish your grooming routine off with the Plow 2.0, the perfect razor for the finest shave on your face. Because if you use the Lawnmower 4.0 on your balls and your face, You're doing something wrong, my boys.
The start of spring also marks the start of Testicular Cancer Awareness Month in April. Manscape has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection.
Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men ages 15 to 35 and giving support for our fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as a part of We Save Balls initiative.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code SMOKE at manscaped.com.
That's 20% off and free shipping with the code SMOKE at manscaped.com. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life. To celebrate the NBA playoffs and the release of our Ultra Premium collection, we're surprising one lucky fan in the YouTube comments with the All the Smoke prize pack. Now that we're in such a premium mood talking about the Ultra Premium collection, let's talk about our premium bracket picks for the NBA playoffs. Jack, who are a couple teams that you're excited to get to see watch in this year's playoffs?
One team in the Western Conference is the Warriors. You know, I can't wait till Steph gets back healthy and see this team back in the playoffs with all the guys, you know, that we've been missing to see for the last couple of years. On the Eastern Conference side, you know, I want to see Brooklyn. You know, they're finally getting healthy. They're finally getting back to playing the way they need to play. I want to see what team that they can be in the playoffs.
I agree. I'm interested to see if Steph can get back healthy. Also love Phoenix, man. Phoenix is playing the best basketball in the league, led by Devin Booker and CP3. In the Eastern Conference, I think the championship's going to run through Milwaukee. As much as I love Brooklyn, Milwaukee's looking strong. They're the defending champs. And I think all roads will lead through Milwaukee. Exciting stuff. Looking forward to see how everything plays out. March 29th, 2019, you're shut down for the remainder of the season. What is that like for you? You're in the league now and you're shut down. How was that mentally for you, understanding that, you know, damn, this is a part of the game?
Yeah.
The worst
funny enough, I had literally just gotten hurt and I was coming back from injury and I was a game away. So it was the next game I was about to play. And I'm like, really? Like, all right. So then we shut down and I mean, at first I didn't know what to think because I didn't think it would be a long time. But when I realized like what was really going on around the world, I was like, man, it kind of just made me grateful for everything. Definitely grateful for everything. Like, grateful for playing the game, playing competitively around people. Like obviously, I ain't gonna lie, I was going to the gym always. Like I found a way to get to the gym. But even then, like it's different. You just different. You're not around, like even the people, the coaches, like the video dudes, like people training you, like anything, like the relationship there is just not there. And you're just getting better on your game, waiting for that time to show it again. It's kind of like you're in a cocoon or something. But I mean, it was just more like you're kind of, everybody's on the same playing field for some reason. Like, it's hard to say, but like everybody's in the same boat. You know what everybody's probably thinking around the whole world because everybody's just sitting there waiting. Everybody's just kind of making do. Everybody's just kind of, you know, it's less about basketball for once. Like, it's always about basketball, but it's finally less about basketball, and that's weird. Like, it's usually all about that.
Yeah, it's life. The following season, the end of the year in December, you dropped a career-high 43 with 9 threes, tying the franchise record with Mike Miller. What was that night like?
Hoop was big. Hoop was real big. Like, I don't know what – I didn't do anything special before the game. I think it was a regular game. I knew I was playing Giannis, so I was hyped, and people were, you know, excited about that matchup of me finally getting a taste of that. And I just realized that for a while, like, my shot form, like, it would just not have people contest and stuff like that. I could get away with a lot. So I knew I could shoot, and I had the confidence to shoot, and they weren't playing up on me at first. So when I hit my first 4 in the quarter, I was kind of like, all right, I just, like, no matter what, I'm going to take probably 5 or 6 more just because I deserve it now. Like, I felt comfortable, like, doing it. So my teammates were finding me. I hit one. One time I remember I played the whole court. I was so gassed. Coach was running a play for me to get it at the elbow, and I was so gassed. I kind of just, like, ran to the ball, like, at the top of the key, just said, give me the ball, and, like, cleared everybody out and took, like, a 40-footer off the glass. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I don't even know what's going on. Like I hit 7. I probably hit 7 in a quarter in the third, and then ended up hitting 9 for the game. But the third quarter was the third quarter was unreal. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And I had a layup in that. I had a couple layups in that quarter where they finally closed out on me and I drove. I was like, wow, I'm gassed, but this is a dream right here. This is crazy.
Getting whatever you want. 2020, you guys go to the bubble. What do you remember about that? I mean, whether it be playing or just in that environment, what sticks out to you the most about that time?
I'm an only child, so pretty much like growing up again, just being by yourself and hooping and coming back like a long tournament. And it was like we was an AAU team, roommates, going to each other's room every day, hanging out, playing video games, listening to music, like I just remember everything being so open. There's just no one there. You can do whatever you want. And then you just go and play these games. I got hurt there too, which sucked. I got hurt there too. That's what really...
Tore your meniscus?
Yeah, that was like my first real getting hurt experience, like surgery. And I remember I got hurt there. My boy Justice Winslow got hurt there. So we were pretty much hanging out with each other until we had to leave the bubble. And I mean, that was kind of a blur, I ain't gonna lie. Up until that point, it was a blur. But that experience was, I think we were just so excited to play again that we weren't as mad about it. But then again, you're away from your friends and your family. It kind of gets to you a little. And I mean, people wanted to leave for sure. People wanted to leave, man. I keep it 100 Arab, like people wanted to get out. But it's like, it's testing you. You know, basketball's all we know. What are you gonna do? Leave and do what? Like not hoop.
Yeah. You guys get your first taste of the playoffs in 2021. Although losing to the Jazz in 4-1, what did that teach you personally, and what did that teach your young team about what this playoff is like?
Yeah, I mean, there's no fouls in the playoffs. You can off ball maim somebody. You can punch somebody in the face, cutting.
Shit,
you can
no
box
way.
Somebody out so crazy. Ribs, the lower rib area is open season. You can set a crazy screen and like. You can get away with a lot, which they knew, and it was funny. Like my first cut in game one, I remember we were running we got the tip, and I was supposed to it was a bluff cut. Like I wasn't even part of the play really. I cut Royce O'Neal, checks me going through, like checks me, like harder than we have all year. We played them 4 times. I'm like, all right. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the playoffs.
I see where we're on. And then, I mean, moving the ball is just so important. That's what you really learn playing against the Jazz. Like, moving the ball, every possession matters. Like no one's crashing, everyone's getting back. There's just slow half-court basketball. Like it's like chess. You're just playing chess. Everybody knows everybody real well. Every tendency is known. So it's just about mismatches and knowing everything about your opponent. That's when I started. I had nothing else to do but play the Jazz. So, like, what I kind of thought was like, man, I got nothing else to do but play this team, and this is what we worked for the whole time. I cut everybody off. Like, no one could get to me. No one could talk to me. Like, no friend, no nothing. Like, you couldn't talk to me for the most part. I mean, and then I ended up looking at weird stuff about the Jazz, like where the players were from. And I ended up looking at little interviews there that they had. Just to kind of, I didn't know when I would use that info, if I would or at all. But like, I just wanted to get a feel for more who they were. Just cause I had nothing else to do but study the Jazz. So I'm just like, man, all right, I might as well. Like I'm on my computer. I'll just be like, all right, I look up Donovan talking about this, or I know Donovan from New York. Like maybe I say something about New York to him one day in the game, just throw him off. Maybe just make him miss. He might miss 2 more shots. I don't know. He might miss 2 more shots, man. And it's Donovan, so it's like, you know, he's going to take a bunch. If he misses 2 and that's what helps us win, I don't know. But we only won 1 game. So we only won 1. So, I mean, you see how that went. They're a great team. They definitely taught us a lot. But, I mean, I'm glad we got that experience.
What do you know about the grit and grind era?
What I really know is, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but at the same time, it's really mental. That's what you really don't see much. Like, obviously, everybody's physical. You grinding, diving on the floor, but those things are given. Like, that's what you should do. You should dive on the floor. You should do all these things for your teammate. Like, I hope you do, because they gonna do it for you. But like the mental side, like being locked in every game, being locked in, ready to play every game is tough. Like you really got to be on it. And that's like what people don't see, the preparation, the pedigree that comes from him. I mean, you had TA. TA was always around. Mike, Tayshaun works for a team. So, I mean, everybody looms around. Zach still goes to all the games. You still had that love, that family aspect kind of. And they pass it down, but at the same time, they shared a lot of their stories to share. And you can see on how they play, how connected they were. Just, it comes from the crowd too. I mean, everybody around here embodies that like all the time. So it's something real special. Like I can't even explain it. And we still kind of had that. It don't go nowhere. Like it really don't. It isn't.
You guys are just a newer version of that.
Yeah, we're next gen. They allowed us to be next gen because they want us to have our own thing. But grit and grind is never gone, and it'll never go away. That's just what we are at the end of the day.
Explain Ja in one word.
Electrifying. Box office. Box office electrifying him, bro. For real. Really him. And I always say this. I always say this about Ja because I love saying this. I get better seats than all y'all to see this because I'm right there seeing this. And most of the time, we don't even really know what we're seeing until we back up and really think about we're seeing some crazy stuff right now, like that'll go down in history. And yeah, like he'll probably have a lot of people's highlights of their career in a game.
For real.
It's really funny. Like he gets some loud buckets. Like he'll have 30 and you'll be like, that's about right. I probably thought he had 50 the way he was doing. And then when he has 50, it's like, man, what kind of... But I mean, you see it, man. You see it now.
Right. He a laid back dude. I done seen him out. Do y'all hang out off the court any?
Yeah, that's my brother. I mean, we kick it. We have a lot in common. We gelled really quick, like when he got here, because we just realized we had a lot in common, and we also knew how important it was for us to be on the same page. So it kind of gave us a little extra motivation to just kind of gel and get to know each other, because we knew there was a chance, like a higher chance we'd be around each other a lot if all goes well, and if we do know each other, it probably would go better. But I mean, now it's just organic. I mean, we synced up in a lot of ways. You're right. He's chill. He's very humble, very laid back. He doesn't change. Like that's one thing everybody knows about 12. He don't change for nobody. Like the situation, whatever's going on, like he's gonna be him. And he looks out for his family, He looks out for his friends. He looks out for his teammates. He really cares about other people. Like, I mean, all the time he puts on for me, all the time he be saying I'm Defensive Player of the Year. He'd be saying I'm an All-Star. He'll always say Dez is, like, I mean, he says it for everybody. Like, he makes sure he puts on everybody. And I mean, that's just how he's built. That's how he's raised from good people. So that's what you get, man. That's 12. A real dude.
What's his craziest highlight to you so far?
Craziest highlight to me, probably the 50-point game where he had a dunk. He dunked off 2 from outside the paint, and then after caught a full court pass and shot it over the backboard at the buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
That or like on some real shit, like the game winner against Phoenix was unreal, because that's like real bucket. Like he faked the handoff, turned the corner, and hung in the air for like 8 seconds and shot it. He went left, but shot it with his right hand off the wrong leg, off the glass. Like that's so, like to hit that at that time. Like I kind of knew he was gonna shoot that because that's what he likes, but everyone else don't know. So to them, it's like, wow, that's a ridiculous shot. But it's also a shot he works on and a shot he likes. I mean, there's so many though, man. Like I forgot about them, man. I gotta like look at his highlights and see, like, Jesus. Like one time I was on the plane and he was just looking at his highlights. And I was just looking over his shoulder at it. And he was like, Usually when we look over each other's shoulder at iPads, we're usually watching the film of the game. We'll talk about it. He's like, hey, bro, you good. This is just my mix. I'm like, bro, I know. I'm about to watch this, bro. This is fire. I'm telling you, like, you're doing it. And I just watched it. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, damn, 12, do you see this right now? I'm not sure you're seeing this. And I would grab, I would like hit his iPad, hit his hand out the way and rewind it. I'd be like, bro, look at this, bro. Do you see this, bro? And obviously he's laughing, but I'm like, man, you need to know, man. You're clapping your hands on layups. Like, this not normal. Like, a lot of this stuff ain't normal. So you got that swag, man.
KD said it best. He has a lot of great players, he's a lot of great players all wrapped in one. Like, he's different. You guys are coming down the home stretch, heading into the playoffs. What's the environment like around your team right now? I mean, you guys got a taste of the playoffs. Now you guys have moved yourself up to the 2 seed in the Western Conference. What's the vibe and energy like around the team right now?
We're super focused. We're thankful that we're the 2 seed. We don't take it for granted, but like we're reflecting a little bit like, man, good job. Like I'm glad we're in this comfortable position because last year we were fighting for playing and every game was not stressful, but you just were thinking about it a lot. And now we're just kind of thinking about putting ourselves in the best position, but knowing that we're most likely going to be in there. And then we're also knowing how much we got to lock in and understand this is new for us. Like, having a target on your back is new. Having people look at you, you're not surprising anybody. No one's happy for you. You know, you're not happy for a 1 or 2 seed. You don't care. You're just trying to knock them off. So, I mean, just us knowing that, us locking in every game, trying to be there for each other because it's new to all of us. So we're trying to, like, I'm trying to make sure my dog over here is good so he can make sure someone else is good. So everybody can lean on each other because you don't want to feel like, you just don't want to feel like you're lost out there in a new space. So, and just making sure they're locked in. Like, if we're not in the plan, then we get a week off. Just making sure we keep that focus and keep our energy, and practice is important. You know how the league goes. League practice, we ain't even practicing that much. So the practices we have now, we actually practice pretty hard today. Very important. Like, every practice is important. We're learning every rep is important just to get our chemistry up. Guys in and out of the lineup.
That's what it is. You're one of these new stretch fours that can shoot threes and get to the basket, finish, do it all, but you're also someone who leads across a majority of the defensive categories all season. Where did that defensive mindset, or when did that defensive mindset click in and really know, when did you make that a part of your game?
Yeah, I always had it. It's just guards got better, When I was really young, like, I would just let a guard go to the rim so I could block it because guards only knew one hand side layups, like one hand to use. They had no game, no flair. And then as we got older, they started getting some tricky shit. And then I had to get better on my end but what helps for me is, like, I work on a lot of the things guards work on. So I start to remember how I would want to shoot a shot against me. Like, I start to think about that when a guard's driving. I'm like, all right, if a guard's driving, I know he's not coming all the way. I know he's about to shoot this floater. So I'm about to jump even earlier. So I jump even earlier, and then I know he's about to ball fake. So I'm just not biting yet and then try to jump and time it right. And it's a whole game. It's like a chess match. And I think I really picked it up this year, like being able to play against Gobert in the playoffs last year as a 5 more really kind of gave me a test on how to be like an anchor. And you got to talk. It's a lot of talk. It's direction. You can see everybody. You're just trying to give instructions. And at the end of the day, like, your gifts are cool, but, like, you shouldn't just think about blocking the shot because then it takes you out of everything else. The block is, like, the last piece. Like, if you block it, cool, but you're supposed to make it tough on everybody. You're supposed to make it hard. These are great players. So, I mean, if you're in the league, you're nice. You're going to make some shots. You just got to make it hard. And if I block it, cool, but I'm growing all the time. I grew year to year. Like, my arms is growing. So that also helps. Can't lie.
You mentioned earlier your teammate has been very outspoken as far as he thinks you should be Defensive Player of the Year. Do you think you're Defensive Player of the Year?
Of course I do. Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
100%. I think.
State your case right now. If for the world's about to hear this. State your case to why you think you're Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. I mean, first off, always back yourself, period. If you don't get that, you don't get it. Second, I mean, I just think the things I have to do besides blocking shots are what separates me from people who be blocking shots. Like my responsibility isn't just that. It just so happens that I'm very good at that. But I'm able to switch on the guards, contain. I'm able to just be a presence other than blocking a shot to change a shot. My timing, I think, is just better on trying to time the type of blocks I'm getting are on ball. It's not just a guard shooting a layup and not knowing I'm there. I'll block a shot in the half court on ball and just figure it out myself while guarding a dude who's shifty and all that type of thing. As well as what my responsibilities are on offense and what I've had to do offensively this year. I mean, it's just been picked up, especially, I mean, there was a time when Ja was out for a little bit and everybody had to pick up their stuff. And I mean, that just puts a lot of stress. Sometimes when you have more offensive duties, your defense can slack off and you might not be there mentally for that. You might just think it's about scoring for a second, but that never happened to me. If anything, my defense just picked up and I was just able to do more. I was just more active. And all the analytics and all that stuff, that's cool, but that's for everybody else. That's not my job. At the end of the day, that's cool to hear and see. I'm just out there to do whatever I can to win, and we've won games. I think what I've done has impacted winning. So that's another difference than like previous years when we weren't really winning as many games. We're still in games and doing what we got to do, but now we're a 2 seed, and no one thought we were going to be that. So,
all right. Okay, they might take that in consideration. We'll have to see. Wishing you the best of luck. Yeah, wishing you the best of luck on that.
You just dropped the album, suddenly, debut album. When did you start doing music and what got you? Well, I mean, of course, we all know music and sports go hand in hand, but when did you officially say, you know what, I'm dropping music during the season?
Yeah. I mean, freestyle rapping, I've always been doing that since I was younger. Me and my friends always just rap in the crib. That's just easy. And at Michigan State, me and Jay Poole really did it as roommates. And then at Michigan State, me and Miles did it every day. Like, we would rap every day. We come home and practice, put on a beat in the kitchen, we make some food and just rap. Like, we just rap. And eventually you do it enough, stuff starts to sound a little fire. And you're like, okay, damn, all right. And then I think when we would be on the plane rides, like, I think around the time I was hurt or maybe before that, I would just sometimes write a verse. And I would not even have a beat or anything, just write a verse randomly for fun. Probably be pretty trash, but whatever. Probably be something. And then I remember just one day just deciding to go to the studio when we were on the road. I was in New York and I was like, let me try it. And going to the studio, it's funny. Like, when you go to the studio, it's a lot different than just rapping. Like, you can stop, you can pause, you can say a line, and you realize it's more about creation and just more about sound, like a bunch of stuff. And I just was into that. Like, I always listen to music. I listen to so much music that I it goes hand in hand. You're playing stuff in the locker room, you're playing stuff when you wake up, go to bed, you shower, anything. Like, you have different stuff. So I was just like, man, if my favorite artist ain't gonna drop, I'm gonna just make it. And I just was like, I'm gonna start making it. And then I ended up getting it in my house. So I got a stool upstairs. And my homies come through, and my homies who do music professionally, like, they come through and they'll make their albums up there with their producers, and they'll go ham. Like, they'll go crazy. And then when I go in there, I usually just did it as therapy. Like, we just be kicking it. And if I felt something, I just wanted to say something, I just get in there. And then you eventually figure out how to record, and it's a process. But now it takes probably like 30 minutes to make a song just off the top of your head, whatever you're feeling. And those are the songs that came out. So eventually, like, I was like, man, I always just made songs for my homies. Never thought I was really I just didn't think of it like that. And then dudes are just like, man, you should put it out. I'm like, all right, well, I was never really that into it. A year went by, and then I'm like, you know what? All right, maybe. And then I just ended up doing it randomly. Like, the concept for Suddenly and the concept for It All, like, came a week before. I was just like, I think I'm going to put it out over break. And we're just in the crib talking. Like, I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm going to put it out. And then we just picked the songs. They were already done. We already listened to them all the time. We just picked the ones we liked and put them on there. And it's funny, like I wanted to pick Suddenly. Like Suddenly the name was important to me because I usually will write a bunch of stuff down if I'm coming home after a game and I can't sleep, I'll write down like something how I'm feeling right now. I'll just write. And one time I wrote down like suddenly, like you always have to be ready because suddenly the opportunity is going to come and you don't want to have to prepare to get ready. You're always ready. Suddenly it'll happen. Like suddenly a door will open. That's really what it comes from. And I saw that written down. I'm just like, I want to call it Suddenly. Also for dudes like you who ain't hear it, I don't want you to like hear some whack name and be like, man, I'm not about to play this. Or like some goofy, like at first, like everyone call you like a unicorn. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna name it Dark. I was gonna name it Dark Twisted Unicorn and put the unicorn as the Kanye thing. But I'm like, man, that won't age. Like, I'm gonna have to walk into rooms and be like, yeah, you rap bet. What's the name of it? Dark Twisted Unicorn. And they'll be like, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, you made the right choice.
Look at it. Yeah, so like suddenly, like you don't even know what suddenly means to the point where you gotta listen to it just to figure it out. It's a vibe, 17 minutes long. I made it short because people got stuff to do. I work too. So I get it. I wanted something I could listen to fully on a drive to work. And man, it's fire. I love it. Stat 5, man. I know, you know what I mean? I heard your stuff before we even got on here. Yeah, you had a freestyle on a French record. I saw that. You had the vid too, using the you had the scene, the classic little scene where, you know, the people wake up out of the bed like I'm rapping, but I was asleep. Like, man, that was fun.
I had number time in Milwaukee. I wasn't playing. I wasn't trying to set foot on that court. I was ready to get traded. So in the meantime, between time, take these bars.
Yeah, take these bars.
Fire.
Who's the best unknown rapper in the NBA to you?
Well, you heard Miles, right? You heard Miles.
Yeah.
Well, he's known. He's elite. I'll say, Brandon Ingram's pretty good. He's pretty good. I have a song with Mo Bamba.
Mm-hmm.
He does not want me to put it out.
I only respect athletes that actually drop their music. Like I was dropping 2-3 mixtapes a season and doing shows. So what's the point of doing it?
And selling dope on the side.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever else it took, Matt. You know what I'm saying? To get a record sold. Hey, I respect athletes that put their music out, man, because that means it's not only a hobby, but you believe in your music. You know, a lot of people try to put us in the box just because our contracts are outrageous and our money's guaranteed. They tell you, just play basketball, stick to basketball. But rappers can act, you know, and everybody else can do everything, but they try to put us in the box. So I always salute athletes that get behind their music and stand up and put it out. So I salute you for that, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of a deep concept. Why though? Like, I mean, people my age don't really get this. So I mean, this is a good lesson for people my age. But like, when you're in passing, like if you're in hospice, like people who are in hospice, people are going to pass. Like the biggest thing they think of is regret. Like that's what kills them. That's what people say. Like regret kills you. Like you'll die, but regret kills you. And you don't want to sit there and like everything you do should be about that moment. Like when you look back, like that you did it here, you did this.
Right.
I'm like, man, this joint, I'm in the crib like, man, this joint, we dropped this joint. Like, I don't really, like, at the end of the day, man, everybody got here. And then I put it out and it was fine. Everybody liked it. It was fun.
That's what's up.
So, we know you're a big anime fan. What's anime fandom like in the NBA?
People don't really be people don't really be tapped into anime. It's like an acquired taste, or you gotta have it before. And honestly, anime really just teaches you lessons if you really pay attention. Behind all the flash and like all the like Japanese, like, you know, there's a bunch of stuff that'll throw you off, right? If you're not really looking at it. But like it teaches you lessons. Like
it's a message in all of it. I got an 8-year-old, so I watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty, like, it's a lot of, like, goofy shit, but, like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, when you watch long enough, you'll be like, damn, like, these people are going through it. And it kind of makes you look at your own stuff like, you know, maybe I am going through it, but one, I'm not going through it like this. And like, there's a show, Attack on Titan, very good. Probably one of the best ones on Hulu. And like, it's about humanity, like how, it's like how let's say we're living in humanity and there's these giants around that at any point could just wipe us all out. So we have to protect ourselves from these giants. And that's what life is about, protecting ourselves from these giants while living day to day. The child wipe us out. And at the end of the day, like, I mean, you look at people losing like their family, their cousins, their friends, their brothers. Like when you see that, yeah, it's anime. But if you have some weird problem, like if you have a problem with your girl, if you have a problem with your homie, if you got a problem with your mind, like you can fix that. You can't fix losing someone. There's things that aren't fixable. Like, so you got to kind of, like a problem is only a big problem to you because it's you. Like if you step out and really look at the whole perspective of it, bro, there ain't no problem. And it's a problem, but it shouldn't ruin your focus or anything like that. It definitely shouldn't ruin your focus on the court.
Perspective, yep.
Okay, hey, you received the Community Assist Award and very important of giving back to you, young girl sports. I fell in love with girl sports from watching Kobe and his passion with his daughter. And I started the first female high school showcase that was headlined by an NBA player in Memphis, right there in Memphis. But when did you get your love to and your as I say, your what's the word I'm looking for, Matt?
Passion.
Your passion, thank you, my brother. Your passion for giving back to women's sports.
I mean, definitely fueled through my mom, but just overall being a good person is important. And it's just a human thing to do. You speak out for people who may have not a problem, but you speak out for people who could always use a little more in terms of getting their voice out there. So I just viewed that as something that was close to me, important to me. I have a lot of cousins and I have a lot of girls in my life who play sports, and, you know, I know that they can be overlooked at times in ways like that. And that is definitely, we've came a long way, like for sure. Like we came a long way with that in that area, but I always want to make sure I'm making a difference for them. It's just the human thing to do. It comes natural. Nothing I can really put my finger on why, but it's a beautiful thing. Plus, I love being around kids and just pushing the youth to new heights, and just making sure everybody's having their voice. Oh, by the way, so that Wayne thing you said about Wayne, this is off topic because, you know, that was deep and lovely. But that Wayne thing, I have a crazy quote by Wayne I always keep with me. It's the craziest thing. He was sitting like, because Wayne, you know, Wayne smoked his ass off, so he just be in the clouds. He'll say the most poetic thing and then never remember it. But I would quote by Wayne, I have in my notes, and like it's only that quote in the notes. That's how you know it's bad. He said, work hard, be somebody, be something more than what you see in the mirror. Let the world be your mirror. Don't let them judge you because the mirror can't judge you. You judge what you see in the mirror. Crazy. Crazy. So I heard that like, oh my God, this man just, I wasn't even sure what was going on, but that was it.
I don't know what that shit mean, but it sounds good when you say it.
That was it. Like, if you really break it down, it's elite.
No, Wayne is a beast. All right, we have quick hitters, man. First thing to pop in your mind, let us know. Top 5 current NBA rappers in your opinion.
Me. Miles Bridges.
Dylon.
High five.
Miles Bridges. Damian Lillard, Marvin Bagley. Yeah. And I'll say Brandon Clark. You know? Yeah, my brother. You ain't even check his out. His stuff ain't even out yet. His stuff ain't even out yet.
He don't count.
All right, well then I'm gonna throw
I like how you put yourself.
Me twice. I was about to say Miles, Marvin, and Dame. Because Dame.
I appreciate how you put yourself first.
Oh, for sure.
I like how you put yourself first. Yeah,
my stuff slides for sure. And everybody's got a lane. Like Dame is, you know, poetic. You know, he's rapping that real, like he in the barbershop with it, like he in the hood with it. Like he'll play it on the boombox, like over his head type. Miles, really from Flint. If you ain't from Flint or Detroit, you don't know, then you just don't know. And then me, just a lot of swag, a lot of good sounds, a lot of feel good. Some girls may like it. Usually I play it. It's good.
That's what you supposed to be rapping for the women, because if you rap for the women, the guys gonna come.
Exactly. And then Marvin got songs like Tory Lanez. He like Marvin out here. So shout out Marvin, man. He was really doing it. Yep. I think he signed straight up on some that shit.
Stuck on the island with 3 shows or movies, what you watching?
Ozark.
Good call.
Snowfall.
Thank you.
Call.
And I'm watching any of the Batman movies. I'm watching like the Dark Knight, the new one's hard, the Dark Knight, or the one with Bane. I'm watching one of those just to get me in that mode.
Mm-hmm. Toughest matchup you've had up to this point in your career?
Probably Anthony Davis. In ways, Steven Adams before he was on my team.
That's a strong motherfucker, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a whole experience. It's like playing a back-to-back in one game. And I'll probably say, when you play Steph, you're guarding him as a team, man. He's shooting 50 shots. Everybody gonna get a few. So it's definitely a shared experience playing Steph.
5 dinner guests, dead or alive?
5 dinner guests. Heath Ledger. Yeah, right. I would say Juice WRLD, God rest his soul, as well. It's funny, like all the old head basketball players I knew growing up from all those little Legends brunches. And they used to be all funny. Like they used to grab my head and rub my forehead and grab my head a ton. Like I used to I already dealt with them. So like, Kobe, for sure. Michael Jackson, and dinner guest. And then maybe I want to meet somebody like weird. Like I want to put like somebody who did something, maybe like a criminal or something. Some type of criminal. That last spot is some type of criminal. You gotta spice it up. Ain't no way. Like, we gotta have something. Like, what did you, like, somebody really messed up, So that spot is open. I ain't got no name for that. But if you really messed up, you coming to dinner. I mean, I like you, but that's the whole point. We at dinner.
Strike that conversation. If they're passing you, if you're controlling the music in the locker room before the game, what's one song you gonna play?
We're playing a lot of Young Boy. We're playing Northside by Young Boy. We're playing some Baby. Probably gonna hear Gang Signs by Lil Baby. You'll probably hear How You Did That by Gunna. You'll probably hear Poppin' by Yeet. You guys just something about Pop. You guys just something about Yeet. Go ahead and do that when we're done. I promise you'll say something. But yeah.
I said right foot creep.
Yeah, you're hip. That's the dude, man. Real dude right there.
Yeah. All right, man. If you could have one guest on All the Smoke, who would it be and who would it be? But before you answer the question, you have to help us get your answer on our show.
I gotta help you?
Yep.
Floyd? Floyd been on?
Nope.
Floyd. Nope. Floyd, I think. Hey, look, Floyd. Look, come to All the Smoke.
He's making his pitch right now.
Come to All the Smoke. You gonna feel you gonna feel cozy and you gonna not want to do it because you're gonna say some stuff you really feel. But I think it's about time you say some stuff you really feel.
Right.
Well, do it, bro. You got all the money. You got 8 chains on. I saw the Cubans from the 1 pick. It was fire.
18 chains on.
That was ridiculous. Yo, that was ridiculous, man.
He looked like a little mini Mr. T.
Damn, man.
Yeah, he was shitting on everybody that night.
He was bugging, but you know, like, I mean, shoot, I don't know, man. He does a lot of like exercises. You never know how if it was weighing him down or anything like that.
He's stupid.
Them diamonds look VVS too. Them are not SI, so I'm proud of him. Them are good.
Jaren Jackson, man, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck the remainder of the season, man, and we'll be checking you out in the playoffs, man. So thank you for your time today.
For sure, man.
You, fam.
All the smoke. Legendary, all the smoke.
Yeah,
man.
appreciate you,
know
bro.
It is.
Legendary.
That's a wrap. Jaren Jackson Jr. Look for him and his Memphis Grizzlies coming to the playoffs near you very soon. You can catch this on Showtime Basketball YouTube and the iHeart platform Black Effects. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
The covenant will not stop.
There is something within us. Something sacred. Something worth protecting.
Silver team, on me.